Hello and welcome to video 4 of our series on data management in Excel. This is Taylor Spoon, and in this video I'm going to guide you through the process for recoding your data from text to numbers. Note that if you don't plan to run statistical analyses on your data, you might not need this step. This video was produced as part of the EvalFest program with funding from the National Science Foundation's AZEL program. Another quick note, I am working in a Mac version of Excel and it may look slightly different for PC users. I will note differences between the look and the function of the two versions of the program throughout the video as they appear. So let's get started. Make sure you are working in your clean database. Watch video 1 in this series if you need help creating a clean version of your data. So to start, we're going to insert a new column for each column of your data that you plan to recode. So to do this, we're going to highlight the number of existing columns that you need to insert. And in this video, we're going to be recoding 3 columns, rating, SciFest, and SciPast. So I'm going to start by highlighting column S where rating is and dragging over to include Q and R. Once all 3 columns are highlighted, you want to right-click and select Insert. And when you do this, 3 new columns will appear to the left-hand side of the columns that you previously had highlighted, and this is where we will recode our variables. So now we're going to want to label our columns, and like I said previously, we're going to recode SciPast, SciFest, and rating. So I like to keep my variable names short, and so I'm going to denote my variables with an R and an underscore. So I will name them R underscore SciPast, R underscore SciFest, and R underscore rating. So now that we have our labels and our columns, let's go ahead and get started with recoding. So we're going to use the if function to recode each column, and this is where it gets a bit tricky, so I will go through it slowly and a few times to allow you to get the hang of it. Feel free to rewind or pause the video if you need more time. So the first column I'm going to recode is the SciPast column, the Q column that I'm in. And the original answers for this were yes, no, and not sure, and these data are in column T of my database. That's important because we're going to use it in the if formula. So you have to tell Excel where to look to perform the function you need. So to do my recode, I will go to the new column under R SciPast in cell Q2. And I'm going to walk you through it as I type in the formula. So the big picture is I need to tell Excel where to look and what to do for each term that I want to have recoded. So I start by telling Excel where if what you see in T2 equals yes, then we want that changed to a 1. If what we see in T2 is a no, then we want to change that to 0. And just a note, for this specific formula, you will need to type a space after no, but for the rest of them, you will not need to have any spaces in your syntax. And finally, if T2 equals not sure, we want that to also equal 0. Now finally, we have to tell Excel what to do with all the other kinds of responses for the blanks and the missing values. So to do this, we add this piece at the end, which is just a quotation mark, a blank space, and then a quotation mark. And that will tell Excel to leave all of the other answers as blank. And we've got to finish off by closing off the parentheses that we had previously opened in this formula. So if you can see, with each if statement, I've typed in open parentheses. So we will need to close them off with the same number of parentheses, which happens to be 3 in this case. So type out 1, 2, 3, close parentheses, and you're done. Maybe look through it to make sure that there's no extra commas or quotation marks, that everything looks good. Press enter. And if you have a yes answer in your SciPast column, you are looking for a 1 in the SciPast recode column. And once that lines up and you've checked everything, you want to select the box in the right-hand corner of the cell and drag down within the column, and you should see your recodes populate. So you see 0 comes up for not sure, 0 comes up for no, blanks are left blank, and so on. And you want to make sure that you populate them enough to scroll down and make sure that everything looks correct. If you do have an error message appear, make sure that you don't have any unnecessary spaces in your syntax. So we're going to recode a second time for a yes, no, not sure question now to make sure we are getting enough practice. So I'm going to do the same for the Sci-Fest question, which is in column U for me. So you want to start with the Recode column and the cell R2, and you want to do the same thing we did previously and enter in the if function. So you'll start with equals if. This time we're changing to U2, so if U2 equals yes, change it to a 1. If U2 equals no, change it to a 0. And finally, if U2 equals not sure, we'll also change this to a 0. And make sure that you do not have the space after no like you did have previously with the Sci-Pass column. We'll have one more comma for the missing values, enter in our quotation marks, and close off the parentheses again with 3. Press enter, and your Recode variable should populate in R2. And just like with the Sci-Pass column, we're going to drag from the right-hand corner of the cell. If I can get it right, there we go. Drag down, and you will see the numbers populate as you go down. So now we have completed our second Recode for a yes, no, not sure question. And again, feel free to pause here or rewind the video to go back through this again for the syntax for yes, no, not sure. So now we're going to move on to the rating Recode, which is a scale that ranges from excellent to poor. So there are 5 responses. The same process is used, but the syntax is longer. So let's see if we can get this right on the first try. So we're going to use the if function and begin writing syntax in the column you designated for your rating Recode, which in my case is S2. So we'll start by equals if V2, since that is the original rating column, so if V2 equals excellent, we want that to be a 5. If V2 equals very good, we want to change that to a 4. If V2 equals good, we want to change that to a 3. If V2 equals fair, we want to change that to a 2. And finally, if V2 equals poor, I'm going to change that to a 1. We'll add the extra comma and our blank space for missing values. And this time, since there are 5 responses and we opened 5 parentheses in our syntax, we're going to need 5 more to close them. So once you have everything typed in, press enter. And you can see that my first answer in my rating column was very good, and that corresponded with the Recode and changed it to a 4. So now using the same process as previously, we'll drag down from the right-hand corner of the cell, and you should see your Recode start to populate. All the blanks are here. We've got excellent as 5. We have a good here marked as 3. So we can see that we recoded correctly. So this is all for the video on recoding multiple choice questions. Watch the next video to see how to recode questions that are multiple choice and check all apply. Thank you so much for tuning in, and good luck.